In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at these very interesting lights. Let's get to it. What's up guys, and welcome to TopShelf Media. So today we're going to be looking at these LEDs, and I actually picked these up as part of another video on my channel, so if you guys want to take a look at that video, I'll link it up in the YouTube card. You can go do that after this video, of course. This light is really cool, and would you say this light or these lights? Would you consider LED strips one light? Or is it multiple lights because there's multiple LEDs? Things that keep me up at night. This light is really cool. It's wrapped in nylon to look like a piece of rope, but inside is a WS2811 360 degree addressable LED strip. And this light strip can be controlled with an IR remote or over Wi-Fi using an app. Today we'll be looking at price, build quality, and functionality. At the time of recording this video, you can pick this up on Amazon for $21.99. Now, what do you get for that price? Well, of course, you get your light strip, as well as your controller. Then you get a remote, some paperwork, and some handy clips to be able to attach them to the wall in whatever design you want to do. Looking at build quality here, I think that these lights look really good. Where the wires go in here, I mean, they could have probably cleaned up that glue a little bit, but that's all right. That's not too big of a deal. On the other end, we have that cap there. I think that looks really good. And as far as imperfections go, I don't see any imperfections with the nylon at this point. So I think that that looks really good. Also, these lights are waterproof. They do have an IP rating of IP67. If you don't know what that means, I've done a video on the meanings of IP ratings, and I'll link that up in the YouTube card if you want to go check that out. Now for the controller, and it is USB powered, so you will need to plug it into a USB port. I'm just going to be plugging it into one of these here that has a USB port on it. That should work just fine. Also, we have our IR sensor as well as the cable that goes out then to our power, data, and ground. And I like that they actually label what color is which on the back of the controller. That's really nice too. On the other side of the controller, we have our power button as well as a mode button and a speed button. Also, I want to point out, these wires are very short coming off the controller. They didn't give you your, typically you get on LED strips from the controller, you get like maybe 6.5 feet or something before they actually start the LEDs. Didn't do that here. So you'll want to know that when you're installing these, you'll want to install them somewhere close to your power source, or you can use a USB extender, but I'm sure you'll get some voltage droppage once you get too long of an extender on here. So something to keep in mind. Like I mentioned, these lights are Wi-Fi enabled, but they do come with this remote, and it's nothing special, nothing to write home about. It works as intended. I don't have an issue with this remote. On the remote, of course, we have our on and off buttons, as well as a couple RGB buttons here to pick a color. On the right side, we have some mode-specific buttons, and I'm assuming these are just modes that they thought would be their most liked modes on these lights. We have rainbow, which is what you see here. We have meteor, we have stars, and then we have fire. Next, we have two mode buttons down here, and these allow me just to cycle through the different modes that these lights have to offer. Over here next to that, we have the speed of those modes, so I can slow them way down or speed them way up. Next, I have this all auto button, which seems to just kind of do whatever it wants. I have no idea really what it does, as well as this color change button. I hit that and it does nothing. Yeah, not sure what those two buttons do, but they're there. Next to that, we have our brightness buttons, so I can dim the lights if I want to. As you can see, very dim, or brighten them up. Okay, I think I figured out what that all auto button does. It seems to just randomly change the mode you're in on its own, making our way down the remote. Next, we have our music mode buttons, and what that allows us to do is just change whatever mode it is in that is sensitive to the sound that's happening in the room. Next, we have our sensitivity buttons, and I'm assuming this is sound sensitivity, how much noise the microphone picks up and the lights react to that noise based on how high you have the sensitivity set. Finally, on the bottom of the remote, we have our DIY buttons, and I'm not 100% sure if you can change these. I'm assuming you can because they're called DIY, but DIY 1 seems to be set to rainbow, DIY 2 seems to be set to rainbow but going the opposite direction, DIY 3 seems to be set to that fire, and DIY 4 is some sort of that meteor but with a bunch of multiple color or stars, one of those. I don't know. I have not found a place in the app to be able to change these yet. I found the buttons in the app. I have not figured out how to change them. So hopefully that will change. And if it does, I will let you know. But that's where we're at with the remote. Speaking of the app, let's go ahead and get it downloaded so that way we can control these lights. So you'll need to download the Fairy Nest app, and you can do that by scanning the QR code on the back of the paperwork as well as on the back of the controller. Once you get it downloaded and you've created an account, you'll be greeted by this home screen. Now from here, we're going to hit the plus button. Now I'm going to put in my Wi-Fi information. Mine's already in there because I've already had these connected once. I'm going to hit continue. I'm going to go with automatic. From there, I'm going to hold down the power button until the lights flash rapidly. There they go. Now I'm going to hit continue. Now this might take a little bit of time. It did the first time that I tried this. It takes a little bit of time to get these connected. So let's go ahead and let it connect. Okay, so now that we have it added to the app, I'm just going to go ahead and click on the light here. It says that it's online. Now if I come in here, I can change actually quite a few different things. It's actually really nice. I like all the options you have here. Now of course we have our scenes that we went through on the remote. There's rainbow, we have fire, we have stars, we have ripple, we have Halloween. For some reason Halloween got its own scene here or mode here, but theater, don't really know why that would be considered theater, but you know, we'll go with it. Gradient, and then we have gorgeous, which I'm not calling it gorgeous, that's its name. If we go to the left here, these are our music modes. So you can see that by the upper right side of the circle here, you'll see a little music note. Those are our music modes. Also, by clicking the center of the circle here, I can come in here. These are all the modes. I think these are all different modes. I haven't had a chance to go through all of them yet, but if I hit this arrow, it goes up by 1 and changes the mode every time. All the way around goes to 180 different modes, which, wow, that's a lot of different modes for this little light strip here. Also, if I click on the static here, it brings me over to my single colors. I can pick whatever color I want, obviously here on the wheel, or I can go in and select a color here based on the scene that they have. You know, energy here is going to be a red color. Or if I want a specific RGB value, if I click on the center here, I can set my specific RGB. Talking is hard today. I can set a specific RGB value for the color. You know, if I want to use like my color of purple or whatever, I can do that from right here in the app. Also, on the upper right hand corner here, we have our timer, so I can set an on and off time for these lights, as well as in settings here, just color calibration, firmware information, all that kind of stuff, and you can remove the device from here as well. But other than that, that's basically it for this app. Okay guys, I'm really liking these lights. I'm not sure how I feel yet about the app. There's just a lot going on in the app. But to be honest, these lights are probably going to end up in my kids' room, so they'll be using their remote, not the app. And I think they're going to enjoy these a lot. Okay guys, that's going to do it for me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and I've put a couple things on screen for you to go check out. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and I will see you in the next video.